This is the installation video for the Quest ES0519-0126 and ES0519-0118 adjustable fixed heavy-duty shelves. The first thing to do to get started is to remove the shelf from the box and position it on the inside of the box to prevent the sides and rails from getting scraped up. The adjustable rails need to be removed from the shelf so that they can be individually mounted onto the enclosure cage nut rails. To remove the side rail from the shelf, you will need to use a Phillips head screwdriver and a 10mm nut driver. Remove the 3 sets of screws and nuts that are securing the adjustable rails to the shelf and place the screws and rails on the side for use later. Once this procedure is complete, turn the shelf over and repeat the procedure for the rail on the opposite side of the shelf. To attach the cage nuts, slide the bottom of the cage nut from the rear of the cage nut rail into the bottom of the selected rack unit mounting hole, and with a screwdriver, push down on the top of the cage nut clip until it snaps into place. You will need to attach 2 cage nuts in the same mounting unit position, using the top and bottom holes in each, leaving the center hole empty. For mounting of the shelf, it has 4 attach points, which utilizes 2 cage nuts on each cage nut rail. Repeat the installation procedure for the cage nuts in the same selected mounting unit holes on all 4 rails. As an added note, cage nuts are not included with Quest shelves. However, they come standard with all Quest enclosures or may be purchased separately. Once all the cage nuts are in place, then you need to install the shelves' adjustable mounting rails. Adjust the length of the sliding rails to fit properly between the 2 cage nut rails, with the front and back L shape of the rail wrapping around to the outside of the cage nut rails. Attach the shelf rails to the front and back cage nut rails by loosely hand tightening the enclosed Phillips head screws and washers. Once all the mounting screws are in place, tighten them so they are securely mounted. From the side of the enclosure, lift the shelf into place between the 2 shelf rails, aligning the 3 screw holes on each side of the shelf to the 3 holes in the shelf rails. You may need to tap the shelf front or back to align these holes. Loosely reinsert the 6 sets of screws and nuts that you previously removed from the shelf. Once all mounting screws are in place, tighten them all with a Phillips head screwdriver and a 10mm nut driver so they are securely fastened. At this point in time, the shelf should be well secured and ready for use.